SourceFed Movie Club. It's me, Jenny, aka ClassyLibrarian, and this week's movie was Hellboy. And this is a film that I loved when it came out, when I was 12, and I've watched it several times since then, including last week, which is one of the reasons why I was kind of looking forward to reviewing it, because I watched it just before it was announced as being this week's video. And for me, it's one of those films that I can just watch over and over again. It's fun, it's cheesy, it's got action. This is nearly 8 years old now, 9 years old, and the effects for this film still hold up. I think it's because a lot of it's not necessarily digital, a lot of it is prosthetics and animatronics, like the creatures that are laying the eggs throughout. They're mostly animatronics. The makeup for both Abe and Hellboy is very well done, and that's mostly thanks to Guillermo del Toro's vision of these characters and how he wants to do them, and he adds so much texture and realism to these characters that could look so strange on screen. They could just look completely out of the blue and off-putting, and he makes them somehow fit into this strange little world that he creates. I think it's a really kind of fun film. There's good action. As I said, the visuals hold up. The acting is, for the most part, really good. I think the only weak point in this is the FBI agent, who is played by Rupert Evans, I think, and he kind of seems to be thrown in. I think he does a pretty good job for the character that he's given, but I think his character and the way that his character was written is very bland and very thrown in just to be an introductory character, so you have someone that you can walk with into this strange world, and someone that they just kind of throw in as a third wheel. And I think the film maybe would have been better without him if they could have found a better way to introduce this world. Because this world is a bit odd and complex, they needed someone to throw in there and to kind of be the audience's eyes. But that's probably the only weak point in this for me. It is cheesy in points. Some of it just doesn't make any sense. I think if you read the comics, then they make more sense, because you kind of get an idea for the bigger universe. But the film itself is a bit odd in places, but in the end I still love it. It's one of those films that I can just sit back and watch. It does something really nice, which I like, which is taking superhero genre and putting it into a fantasy world. This is demons and mystical entities and not sci-fi stuff. I mean, I love sci-fi stuff, but I do love fairies and magic and all that as a concept. So I love the idea of a superhero film with fantasy elements thrown in, and then adding personality and fun to it. Ron Perlman does an amazing job, because he not only is doing really well as an actor in the prosthetics and with this slightly funny half midlife crisis, half grumpy teen character, but he also he looks like he's having fun in this role. Like, most of the cast look like they were just here for the fun of it, and that really shows in the way that it's presented. I think that Abe, I can't remember the name of the actor, he does an amazing job. He's a brilliant physical actor. I think he does a lot of the prosthetic works. So, like, when he's doing his acting, you feel what he's doing with his physicality, like the way that he splits his fingers. It's amazing. And all the scenes underwater, you just feel like this character is meant to live underwater, and it's just really, really well done. Overall, I love this film. It's demons versus Nazis, and it's silly, and it has some kind of old-fashioned sort of strange fantasy elements and stuff thrown in, which is enough to, if you want to overthink it, and if you want to underthink it, you can just enjoy the action and the silliness. There are a lot of one-liners, but other than that, it's just a fun time, and I really like it. It's one of my favourite easy-watching films. And that's about it, really. Hello to my new subscribers, because I know you've come in from SourceFed and from the Philip DeFranco Movie Club, so nice to meet you all. I look forward to commenting to you down in the comments, and hopefully by the end of the week I'll come up with original videos just for me, not for the video responses. I have an idea, and we'll see how it goes, and that's about it. So bye guys.